Hey guys, it's a Saturday afternoon and I was perusing the internet and I happened to stumble across an article on a website called WikiHow, which attempts to describe how in 10 steps someone can become a successful politician. Now, this article annoys me for a couple of reasons. The chief of which is that it's not wrong. Now, how can I be annoyed with it if it's not wrong? Well, the problem is that the very premise that's based on is wrong, and that society allows this to be the premise is wrong. And by wrong, I don't mean incorrect, but I mean wrong on an ethical standpoint. For example, step number one, I'm not going to read the entire steps, I'll post a link in the description, is are you from a rich family? If not, your chances are bad. It's still not impossible. Know why you are serving. Now pay attention to this part. Serve corporate sponsors, not yourself. Serve corporate sponsors, not yourself. Now, in today's politics, I understand that there's a lot of corporate involvement and there's a lot of corporations who have vested interests or who are involved because they've made large campaign donations and expect some sort of a payoff for that. Now, I'm not so much against corporate donations because in today's world it costs a fortune to run for political positions. Although realistically, we should all be making the argument that money should never be a barrier to political office. It's a right, not a privilege. Um, so to be fair, really, no one should be allowed. Either the same amount of money should be given to everybody. Really, no, that's the only way you could do it. You're only allowed to spend this much, and you are given this much. So I know it's not a realistic figure, but say everybody's given $100, right? Somebody can't kick in an extra 100 and pick up another 100 there, another 1,000 here and there. No, that's all you get. You're guaranteed it, and it's all you're allowed to spend on top of that. But I digress from this point. This first step, which you can read yourself if you want to, also continues on to talk about the government is organized and helpful to Wall Street. Members of the media won't take you seriously unless you can afford expensive consultants and all that stuff. But the thing that annoys me the most, though, is they put in here, not yourself. No politician is in office to serve themselves. Okay, no, that's not true. Lots of politicians are in office to serve themselves. But that is not why they should be there. As an elected official, your job, your priority, is to serve your electorate. That's your electorate, not the party, not party policies. But you're there to represent the people who elected you. So even if you don't agree with what the people who elected you want done, tough luck, sunshine. That's the job. I mean, there's not much else to be said about that. Next part, practice your public speaking. Okay, that's fine. You can say that about any job. Make connections in your community. All right. Fair enough. You have to be able to do that. Keep up with current events, which you should. I think a lot of them don't. However, they talk about keeping up with current events, not so you can make informed decisions about things that may have an effect beyond your, well, depending on what level, maybe your municipality, your state, your region, your district. Depends what country you're from, how the political lines are drawn. But no, they say it's so that you don't upset Wall Street executives. So you need to know what's going on in corporate America. I'm sorry, your job is to make sure you do not upset your constituency. Your job is to keep the people who voted you in happy. Well, not necessarily happy, but to make the best decisions for them based on what they want to do. That's whom you serve. You have no other master in the situation. I mean, and people who think that this is how politics should work, they don't get it. Then what do we talk about? Learn from the past. Learning from the past is a great idea. However, In this, they then go on to talk about that no one really pays attention to this. They're saying what really counts is your ability to raise funds. I'm sorry, I thought you were running to serve the people of your area, to grant them a better future, both for your community and for your country. You're not hired as a professional fundraiser. Hell, you're hired. You're not elected to be a fundraiser. I mean, okay, if you're in somewhere where there actually is a minister for fundraising, okay, you have this qualification, I mean, go to her. But other than that, I mean, this falls back to my first point. Everyone should be given the same amount of money. And that way stuff like this wouldn't be relevant. Number 6, be dedicated to what you are trying to accomplish. Now, this contradicts step number 1, because you're not there to get things done that you want to get done. So it's not what you want to accomplish. Right? Even if you follow their advice, this really means that you're there to do what other people want you to accomplish, which is your job. But they think those other people are corporations, not the electorate, which is to whom your duty lies. I mean, yeah, heck, last line in this step. You also need to prove to the powers that be that you have the drive and motivation to protect the status quo. You're not there to protect the status quo. You're there to make necessary change. I'm not saying that change needs to be made for the sake of change. That'd be inappropriate. But you're there to serve a given group, and that group is not the party, not the majority of the government, not corporate sponsors or handlers or lobbyists. It's to simply serve those who elected you. And I feel that's something that we've lost in politics. Number 7 just talks about conversation ability. Number 8 is learn from those who have succeeded. But we were just told in number 6 that as long as we could raise funds, knowing how people succeeded and what happened in the past doesn't matter. So what you talking about, guys? Number 9 suggests that you start small, which is fine. Run for things in your city councils, privy councils, things like that, which I agree with. I mean, there's no sense jumping in at the top level. I mean, some people have done it and some people have gotten in. But that's the exception, not the rule. So basically, the problem today is we put the term honourable in front of the names of our politicians who are elected, particularly in Canada. So a member of Parliament would be the honourable member from whatever constituency they come from, whatever their riding is. And our Prime Minister right now we refer to as the Right Honourable Stephen Harper. And basically, based on the way things are being handled and the way that politicians do not listen to the people. I mean, a good example right now was all polls done by Statistics Canada show that the people do not want it to go through. A majority of the people do not want it to go through. So as a politician, or as someone holding political office, you should say, hey, the people from my town don't want this. And as soon as you see that, regardless of what a party whip comes in and tells you to do, even if he threatens to actually whip you, you should still vote no. Because that's what the people want you to do. I mean, it's not complicated. It's not difficult. You just need to get your heads out of your asses and listen to the people. The people are those to whom you're beholden, not to your corporate masters. I mean, if you do a good job, you do what the people want, they will keep voting you back in. Right? Because say you get in one year, where you have all this money or whatever, and somehow you get in. But everything you do is based on what's best for the people in your area. All right? So now the next year, you don't have all these big sponsorships and all this extra money to throw into campaigning and all this stuff. But it doesn't matter. All you have to do is go just talk to people. Because if they like what you're doing, they know you listen to them. And that goes way farther They're getting 750 signs for free, a billboard, and a TV ad. And really, that's what politics are all about. It's representing the people, showing what you can do for them, and that at the end of the day, you're a man of the people for the people. But to today's politicians, I don't think they should be allowed to use the term honorable unless you're going to behave in an honorable manner. And that's why the word is there in the title. It's just a reminder. You're there to represent your constituents with honor. But to today's politicians, say prime ministers, shouldn't be the right honorable. It should be honorable. Right.